What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data.
Honestly, I don't know what's going on. If it turns off, I'm gonna have to inform the guest. I'll say this is frustrating. This is the third time that we have attempted to go live. I don't know what's going on. It's not a network issue on my side. The team has looked to see if there's any problems coming from my end. There are not. This is part 3 of episode 669. I gave some of the best. I gotta say, one of the best monologues of all time. Breaking news that the Supreme Court has ruled against Trump's global tariffs. I broke that down. I broke down the Fed and where the Fed is right now. I broke down AOC not knowing anything about geopolitics. I was breaking things down. I was hammering away. I was unstoppable. I named out all the sponsors. Midnight is the sponsor of the breakdown, episode 669. I also told you about Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet is also a sponsor of the breakdown. And Polymarket is the official prediction market of the DG brand of the breakdown. And here I am. Here I am, the people's champ. I'm out here breaking down the news. We have breaking news. It came in. This is the third time. And Restream or something is shutting me down. And it's weird. And it's not from my end. So I'm praying that when Michael Aronson comes on, and I really want to go ahead and have a conversation with Michael, that we can get through it. Now, I don't know if I'm being reported because I have my own takes. I don't know if the Democrats or the liberals are coming after me right now. One could say I should be worried. I don't know what's happening. Wrecked. I don't know what's happening, Wrecked. I have no idea. This is the third time I started the show. I have absolutely no idea what's happening. I gave one of the greatest speeches, one of the greatest monologues of all time. They would have clipped it up. They still can clip it up. They can clip it up and they could put it into the history books. I now believe when Andrew Tate says the Matrix is out there and the Matrix and the agents are coming. I believe that the agents are coming. The agents are coming after me. They don't want to hear me speak. They don't want me to drop facts. Is it because I put on the power suit? Is it because I'm back to the suit and tie? Is it because I'm back to the ties? It can't be the haters. The haters don't got this kind of pull. It gotta be the elites. They don't want me to talk. They don't want me to talk. So as I was saying, and hopefully we are now past the stage of me being shut off. It is 12:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm so scared. I'm scared to have the staff and myself retweet this stream. That's how scared I'm not even kidding. I am absolutely not kidding when I say that I don't think they want me to speak. As soon as I start talking about the ruling that came down from the Supreme Court, 6-3 against Trump's global tariffs, I can already see the stream start cutting off. It's almost if like AOC. Oh, by the way, I did talk about Mandani and New York City and Mandani raising rates on everybody. Socialism, where everybody wins together, right? So a 9.5% hike or proposed hike in taxes. When I started talking about this stuff, all of a sudden the network started acting all funny. I am a trooper. I will not give up. I will continue to. If I need to restart this show 9 times, 10 times, 11, 12, that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. You won't stop me from speaking. You will not. I will continue to come on here with the American flag in back of me, with this dope ass suit. I'm presidential, bitches. Let me run it back real quick. We are going into the second hour of the breakdown because the breakdown won't go past 2 p.m. because I got things to do. I got meetings to attend. I got phone calls to go ahead and get on to. I got people to speak to. So let's break this down. We got 30 minutes to break it down. Let's break it down. This is the breakdown. All right. Let's try this. Let's try this. Here we go. Supreme Court, breaking news. Supreme Court slams or strikes down the global tariffs. I know a lot of people have never heard of the word tariff. I know a lot of people did not pass 3rd grade. I know you guys do not understand how the economy works, whether it's in the States or globally. Tariffs are good. Tariffs are good. Here's the thing. We have, as one of the richest countries in the world, the greatest country in the world, we have done nothing. We have done nothing for years to put our foot down and reciprocate the kind gestures that other countries give to us. So let's break this down. Other countries before Trump started imposing tariffs had tariffs on the United States, okay, on our goods. It made it really expensive to do business. And people did not really want to do business with the United States of America. They wanted us to take on their shit, but they wouldn't take on our shit. I'm trying to put this in layman's terms. Ready? In layman's terms, let's talk. I am going to be your preschool teacher. We would take and buy their products, India's products, everybody's products. Everybody who made a bunch of China, all these people that make horrible products, we would take their products in. But in return, when we wanted to sell an American car, there would be a VAT tax, all these taxes and policies, all this shit to make sure that America does not profit, but they profit. Was that good enough? Was that simple? So here comes a true leader. Here comes Donald Trump. First term, he goes ahead, twists the arm of China, puts a tariff on them, which, by the way, Biden did not take off, which, by the way, the Democrats for years, for decades, Schumer, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they've all screamed for, the Democrats have all begged for, Nancy Pelosi. Every one of them begged to put tariffs on China. Here comes Trump. He does it. The boos come out. Oh, how can we do this? How can we do this to China? Trump comes back his second term. He says, tariffs. It's my favorite word. puts tariffs on everybody's asses. Guess what? Businesses started to invest back into America. And yes, I'm going to hear the, oh my God, but tariffs, they hurt small business. Short term. Short term. Think about what's happened in the United States of America for decades. We've had an expansion on government jobs. There are more at this point more government jobs than private sector jobs. It should be the other way around. The government is bloated with jobs. Private sector jobs were lacking, and they pay more, by the way. Private sector jobs pay more. But this is this whole game plan of let's create jobs, which Biden put out there. What job creation? All you did was create more deficits. That's all you did. Small businesses hurt just for a little bit with tariffs, and then long-term tariffs are good. I know others will say tariffs don't hurt. It just hurts for a few months, and then you see the results where all these factories that have gone elsewhere bring them back to the United States of America. But for instance, Honda is bringing their factory back to the United States of America, creating 33,000 new jobs, right? More job creation, more people getting a job and not sitting on welfare. 42 million people on SNAP benefits is crazy. I'm going to give you the number again. 42 million people on SNAP benefits. Anyway, I don't want to I can go back here and we can talk about this very subject, but here's what I want to talk about. It's what I said before on the first time we try to go ahead and go live. The Supreme Court ruled against America. That's how I feel. Even though Trump has other options to put tariffs on people's asses, it's still, to me, ruled against America. You ruled for foreign nations. The same nations that have put tariffs on us, that don't allow us to sell our products, American products, elsewhere. That's what you have done. That's what I see. So if you really think about it and you put party affiliations aside, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, libertarian, okay? Purple party, green party, red party, blue. Put that all aside. Put that all aside for a second. The courts, this is not the first time the courts has ruled against a sitting president, the leader of the free world. We have the courts deciding what's good and what's not. This should not be a Supreme Court decision. This particular thing should be a decision made by the President of the United States of America, and if you want to throw it in here, Congress. But Congress is bought off. This is the situation we're in. This is the situation we're in. And I believe that. Trump will still tariff the shit out of countries. He will still work his way around that. The Supreme Court, though, think about this. What is it, $135 billion in tariffs? That's going to be... We've created a mess now? How are we going to go about that? $135 billion now goes back to who? Companies already made money. They increased prices when tariffs came into play. So now you're refunding companies and you're like giving them more money when they've already made money. What are we doing here? Why, if we elected an official, 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. I voted for Trump. A lot of people voted for Trump. I didn't vote for the Supreme Court. Hopefully people understand what I just said and they don't go ahead and twist it up and take the words out of context. I voted for Donald Trump and this administration. Let them do their thing. Tariffs have created more job opportunities, has increased our revenue. Why will we? So hold on. Things that are actually benefiting the health of the United States of America, we're slamming down. I don't understand what the fuck are we doing here, man. What are we doing? And people are going to say, hold on, man. The Supreme Court has always ruled in the favor of Trump. They're conservative. Yeah, but this is one issue for me. This is the president's decision. Other presidents have used tariffs. How are we supposed to make trade fair? How are we supposed to make trade fair with other countries if we're not able to have the president of the United States of America do what he needs to do? It's not like we're taking over countries. Somebody's going to say Venezuela. It's not like we're taking over countries. We are just telling countries, listen, if you're going to make us pay 50% to import our vehicles, let's say, into your country, then we're going to hit you with a 50% tariff as well. And we're going to make it fair game. That's one example. 50 you, 50 us. Now it's fair, isn't it? It's crazy. I got to tell you, it is absolute craziness. It is crazy, man. You know, I don't think half the people who dislike Trump understand why they hate him. I really, like, you sit back. It's kind of like people when they hate you on the internet, right? I have haters as well. And I've never even spoke to any of these people and they dislike me. And if I were to ask them, well, why do you dislike me so much? They wouldn't have an answer. And it's the same thing with Trump. This TDS is strong. Yes, I'm ranting about this decision. The breaking news, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news that the Supreme Court ruled against the global tariffs that Trump has put out there that have been, to me, successful. He's still going to find a way through the system to go ahead and put tariffs on their asses. But it's kind of like, yo, this ruling is kind of like it's against America. That's how I feel. The Fed has a problem. The Fed has a problem right now. They had a big problem because if they cut rates, inflation goes up. If they, well, you know, and I might have to take that back. Maybe on the Trump inflation, if they cut rates, maybe inflation doesn't go up. I don't know. I don't know. But I will say that they're in a predicament where if they cut rates, inflation, if they don't cut rates, recession. That's what you're looking at. This is a time. I know you guys, you sit there and you just want to hate on Trump. There's a time where you have to root for the Trump administration to fix our economy, to get it healthy, to make America really great again. I know you guys are triggered by that, make America great again. Yeah, we need to make it healthy again as well. And I'm not talking about Robert RFK Jr. making it healthy and making a lot of you guys healthy, and so you guys don't eat things with seed oil and it's whatever. We can get into that topic. But making America healthy. America's been damaged for a really long time. The printing, look at the deficits and look at the debt. Look at the debt. It's crazy. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown. Trying to get I'm really trying to get everything fucking playing here. Screen goes black now. Screen has gone black, so now I don't see anything. I don't see a goddamn thing. No, things need to be fixed though. I will talk into the goddamn camera, and I don't mind not having monitors not working with me here today. Another day, second day in a row. No, I know you guys see me and hear me. It's just that the monitor, I can't see myself. I can't see what is happening here with the comments. So I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. We talked about the breaking news. Why is AOC, by the way, out in Germany? Why is AOC out in Germany? I just want to. I'm trying to figure out why is she even giving. Are you really going to have AOC run for the president of the United States of America? Are you kidding me? They can't even run New York City. Look at New York City. They can't even get the garbages off the goddamn streets. This is what we're talking. Gavin Newsom, are you serious? He destroyed California along with the rest of the Democrats. This is who you guys are trying to lean on. The best person in the Democratic Party right now is John Fetterman. That is the best person you guys have in the Democratic Party that has common sense, that doesn't always agree with the Republicans, but he's willing to work towards a common ground. John Fetterman is your hope, and is the hope for Democrats. It's what he reminds me of what Democrats used to be. I'm being serious. You got AOC going out to Munich. You got, what are you doing? Like, you don't. She's asked about Taiwan. She doesn't know how to answer the question. Like, what is happening? I'm telling you, man. Here is Trump, who has a pulse. Okay, this man has more energy than 90% of the people that have tuned into my show. He is running around. He sleeps like what, an hour a day? Like, I don't know. He's running around all over the place, negotiating deals, hope for peace, bringing all these countries and people together. You can see the respect from leaders outside of the United States of America. You can see the respect factor that he's given. You can see countries willing and wanting to work with him, establish a relationship. You didn't see that under Biden. Biden didn't even see anything. Biden didn't even know where he was. It's funny that, it's funny to hear people say, oh, Biden was super active. Where, in bed? And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about what, super active sleeping in bed? Like, come on, what are we talking about, man? Welcome to the breakdown. I'm having a breakdown because I like to see myself on the monitor. I'm going to try this, and I'll be right back to go ahead and see if the fuck. I'm back, guys. I'm trying. I really am trying. I'm trying to make all this stuff work. Welcome back. Hopefully I can get through the interview here with Michael Arrington, who comes on at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That should be a good one. Have you guys heard of Michael Arrington? You know who he is? Founder of TechCrunch. We'll go ahead and talk about the markets. We will absolutely talk about the markets. Anyway, like I was saying, at the end of the day, I feel like the president, regardless of Democrat, Republican, the president, we elect the president. The president, obviously, I'm not saying we should allow him to do everything, okay? That there's no sort of there are no sort of rules out here and shit, but I trust Trump. We need a businessman, and we got a businessman. And I know people will say, "Oh my God, the bankruptcies." Yeah, businesses use bankruptcies to reconstruct their businesses to make more money. So when you say that kind of stuff, I know like half of you guys have obviously never, ever finished, fourth grade. Some of the things that are said are just like I read some of the shit on the internet. And I'm just like, I shake my head. Honestly, I shake my head. Uh, let me pause real quick. I know I'm the ultimate professional. That I know. People say, man, like you are great when you're on a mic. You're great when you come on a camera. I love the breakdown. It's a great show. You're constantly bringing on great guests. You have really good conversations, great conversations, clippable moments. Today, with everything that's going on, monitors going out, internet connections, not mine, but connections from Restream or X. I don't know what is happening. I am working through all this stuff. It sucks. I'm gonna tell you something that sucks. It really sucks when like you start the show and the show is fire. Like I am on fire. I am laying in to the content or into the news that has been provided to us today. I am on a goddamn roll, on a roll. And then all of a sudden, something like that, like that show, the amount of energy that it had disconnects. And it's just like, God damn it, man. God damn it. And now you're trying to get back on that horse. Okay? The horse threw you off, you're trying to get back right on it. Gotta slow down. I gotta relax. I can't stand that the screen ain't working right now. Screen is absolutely not working. You're watching me meltdown on the breakdown. You're watching me meltdown on the breakdown 100% right now. I know I got this, Tech. I know I do. But you're watching me having a goddamn breakdown right now. Like this should not be happening. This should absolutely not be happening. This is absolutely unacceptable. 100%. Oh, don't tell me that. I will. It looked like it said it was ending the stream. No. Honestly, I am very passionate about what I do. Obviously, I come on here Monday through Fridays, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have great sponsors. Midnight, we got Poly Market. We have Cake Wallet. Shout out to Cake Wallet, Vic, and the entire team. Like, we have a lot of great things going for us. I take this so fucking seriously. I take the news seriously. I love America. I love crypto. I love digital assets. You know how harsh I've been on this whole Clarity Act bill. That for me personally, it does not benefit retail. It benefits the banks. It benefits institutions. Respectfully, I'm friends with and friendly with a lot of people that work on Wall Street. But at the end of the day, we were never supposed to sleep with the banks. I told you multiple times how I feel about Bitcoin and where it's at right now, where you have people creating or institutional players creating paper products for Bitcoin, which has expanded the supply of Bitcoin. That's right. I've gone off on these things. I'm passionate about these things. For me personally, I believe I bring a lot of value to the table. I've been here for a long time. I've been studying this for a long time. That's all I do every single day is study, whether it's digital assets, finance, or politics and policies. If I don't know something, I study it. If I get something wrong, I acknowledge it. I speak to smart people. I like to sit back, have conversations, and allow the guests that come onto my show to speak. I don't interrupt them. I will not interrupt the guests when they're talking. Only if I feel like, hey, man, I have a different point of view. Hold on for a sec. That's why when things like this happen, when you prepare for, a lot of you guys don't know what, respectfully, and I say this, a lot of people don't know, they really don't know what it takes to go ahead and make a really good show. People don't people, you can have a camera and you can have a microphone. That doesn't mean that you're a good content creator. That doesn't mean that you're a really good media personality, or like me, the new mouthpiece for finance and politics. That doesn't mean that you're going to be great. You got to work at this craft, even if you're talented. You got to work day in and day. There are days that you don't want to do it. Not because you don't love it, but it just is days that you just do not want to come on air. You just don't want to, you don't have that, but you do it because people, the reason I do it, and I will come on here sick, and I don't really, knock on wood, let's hope I don't get the flu or anything, but I will come here on 2 hours of sleep. I will come on here sick to go ahead and do a show because I know people are literally waiting for me to come on. Whether it's the haters or whether it's the supporters, it doesn't matter. People are waiting for me to come on and give my take because they want to hear it. Either they want to debate me on it, okay, which is fine. But I know that I need to come on air. I know I provide a different voice. My brand has continued to grow because people, I think, appreciate the value that I bring to the table. Again, whether it's digital assets, whether crypto, digital assets, finance, or politics. I think people truly enjoy tuning into a show where somebody has life to them, has a fucking pulse, where it's not repetitive, where it's not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else, respectfully. And you could take that whichever way you want. I will run for office one day. I will do big things. 100%. I am doing big things. I'm just letting you know that it's already happened. You just haven't seen it. That's my approach. That is my approach to life. I want everybody to get along. Listen, I have as many Republicans and MAGA people who tune into my show. I have just as many Democrats that also tune in. And they don't like what I say. I have friends who don't like what I say. They feel offended. I've lost friendships for supporting Trump. For supporting common sense, I've lost friendships. It's wild. I have lost friendships over crypto because people thought crypto was some sort of scam. I've been made fun of for getting into Bitcoin early and digital assets early. My previous career, which was, hey, you know what? Sometimes I think about if I was lazy and I wasn't motivated, my previous career was really good to me. Like I could have bought up Bitcoin, Ethereum, a bunch of digital assets, and just sat back and just chatted when need be, and relaxed. I didn't need the headache. I didn't need none of this. Again, I truly believe I bring something to the table. Yeah, I'm frustrated today because 3 lives, 2 lives, 1 dead. This one is holding up. And I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. I don't know if this is a problem from Restream side or whatnot. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown. I went on my soapbox. I'm ranting. I'm absolutely ranting today. I am ranting. It is 1:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be joined by Michael Arrington at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 3 minutes if you know how to count. And we'll talk about the markets and some other stuff. He's done a lot of things in his life. Pretty cool to go ahead and pick his head here. Again, if you're tuning in, breaking news. Obviously, the Supreme Court rules against the Trump global tariffs, 6-3. People who hate Trump are celebrating. It's weird. I'm telling you this. I've gone onto the social. I have gone onto my own social media platforms, and I'm just reading, and like people are celebrating. I'm like, what are we celebrating? I have to like Trump. I love America. I don't like it. I love America. I'm a proud American. I don't care. Here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. Regardless of who the leader is, regardless who sits in that Oval Office, we as Americans need to support that person. So I don't like. I can be a Republican, but at the end of the day, I support the president of the United States of America. That's it. And if you don't like something, go out and vote. A lot of you guys sit on a couch all day. You haven't changed your underwears in God knows how long. I don't know when's the last time you took a shower. All day long. You sit and you bitch. You talk about you want change. So go out and vote. Midterms are coming up. Vote. Go out, vote. You don't like the Clarity Act? I don't like the new Clarity Act. I don't like the bill as it is. There's a lot of things I don't like. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this commercial break from midnight.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
All right, it is 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am joined by a successful individual, and I'm going to talk to him about the markets right now. Michael Arrington, how's it going?
Hey, you found me. I wasn't even sure you knew I was in here. Here I am.
I was hoping that the staff would give you some water or M&Ms, but I don't know what's up with them lately. Not treating
I
well.
have no staff except me, and I gave myself water.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's good to have you on, man. I've admired your work from the sidelines, but I want to get right into it. Mike, what do you think about the markets right now?
First of all, I'm a huge fan. Very exciting milestone for me to be on the show.
Really?
Very exciting. Yeah, I always like your show. Yeah, because you're actually entertaining. So, yeah.
I appreciate it.
So it's a big moment for me. I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Man, this is what I'm talking about. Like, let me say something before we start this conversation.
We're not on live yet, are we?
We're live.
Just kidding.
3 times. This is the 3rd time. The first 2 times I go live, it disconnects after 10 minutes, and it's telling me like it's not happening. I was like, there's no way I am rescheduling with you because I don't know, you're a busy man. It's impossible to get you down. So but I'm happy that we're
I
here.
spend a lot of energy to appear to be a busy man. Yes.
All right, Mike. I'm going to get to the news also, what happened with the Supreme Court and stuff like that. But I want to ask you, markets, you're watching all this stuff. You got a lot of friends out there in the institutional world and Wall Street. What are you thinking here? What's happening? Did 1010? Let me throw it out there. Did 1010 really break, the crypto market here?
I think it's we have competing narratives, and we need to figure out which narrative is going to win and which path we're going to go down. And I think we have bets on that, but we have hedges as well. So 1010 was something. Was it the end of the 4-year cycle, or was it just the end of 4-year cycles? Like, I don't know, but we think something's different this time.
So you speak about,
which is why we're
cycle.
still long crypto, right? You can tell I still believe there's upside. Otherwise, we'd be all in cash right now and wait it out, which we're not.
Do you believe in the 4-year cycle? Do you think it's come to an end?
I believe in the 4-year cycle as long as it continues to exist. Yeah. And, we've seen that the effects have decreased over time. It makes sense that it would go away. It's just so weird that everything else is screaming higher, especially precious metals, but virtually everything is screaming higher. Mortgage rates are going down, even though everybody's afraid they're going to go up. And crypto's just, crap in the bed. So that's weird, right? So one answer to that is enough people believe in the 4-year narrative that it becomes a reality again, or became a reality again. Other people have lots of other narratives, and you've talked about them all, but OG's selling, etc., stuff like that. We're just going to have to see who's right, I guess. But one thing is clear. Everything else can't keep going up, and crypto not also going up, unless all historical correlations have now broken and we're in some other weird period. Things have to revert to the mean. So
it's confusing. Like, I sit back and I'm not the smartest person in the room, but
you're one of the smartest people. You're the smartest person in this room right now.
I think Mike's good to me right now. I give a round of applause. Thanks, Mike. Listen, somebody got to give me a pat on the back. But no, I do try to study all this stuff, and this is the first time. Like, I'm kind of like, what is happening? Like you just said, everything else is going up. We're sitting here and we're going backwards. Like, I would think, like, precious metals are going up. Well, why isn't everybody jumping into Bitcoin?
I'm actually looking at what is the price of Bitcoin right now. I was working out right before this, so
probably like 67.
Okay. Look, the only thing that matters is how low it can actually go, right? And people have bets on that and where the support levels are. And then if it goes up, is it a dead cat bounce in the near term? And so what happens then? I would say that a really smart move would be, if it goes up, forgetting why, calls become very cheap at that point. Calls become dirt cheap when the market's going up. Very expensive, and puts become very cheap. So good time to buy puts is when the market's rallying. And then when it's at its height, that's a good time to sell calls. And we do a lot of that too, as well. So that's just managing the trading flow though. As to why, I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, I know that it's your job to talk about this, right? But like, I don't fucking know why it's doing what it's doing. And
I love the really fact weird. Too, like, Mike, I don't give a fuck where it goes. Like, I'll buy it at 50,000. If everybody wants to say it's going to 20,000, I'll buy Bitcoin at 20,000. Well, I don't care about that.
Yeah. Like there's a point where everybody jumps in.
Yeah.
It's also interesting who's jumped out of crypto, right? And AI comes into the discussion quite a bit, and the mass amounts of capital that are being sucked out of the world from AI are incredible. The amount of gold that Tether has bought is incredible, right? They're like 15th largest in the world. They're bigger than most countries in terms of gold holding. But a lot of people have bailed out of crypto, and it'll be interesting to see when they come back, because that happens every time. It shakes out all the sort of maybe non-believers. And, we're going through that now. I find it entertaining.
Well, when you're having conversations with some of some of these big time players, what are they saying? Are they saying the same thing? Are they on the same page, or are some of them confused? Like, I don't understand.
Well, some of them have
happening.
left the industry, right? The biggest, religious leaders of our industry have just pieced right the hell out, and that's fine. Others, are focusing on areas that need to be built, and financial infrastructure is a big one right now. And it's one of the few areas we're still really excited about. Other people have just left for AI. I don't know, but it's like happens every time. Like it happened the first year we launched our fund in 2018. 2018 was a year that I turned $80 million of capital into $27 million. And it was a trial by fire going from being a venture capitalist to a VC. I'm sorry, to a hedge fund manager.
Yeah.
But I and a bunch of other people put a whole bunch more capital, about 50 million in at the end of 18 when Bitcoin was 3,500. And, that made everything go really, really well for us since then. So the key part is like decide if this is a religion or not for you. And if it isn't, then just leave. Like go do other stuff that you're passionate about.
What do you think about the current Clarity Act that is being proposed to be passed? Like, I think that we shouldn't pass any bill unless it absolutely favors retail. What are your thoughts here?
Why do you think that? What do you think happens to the market if it passes in its sort of current discussed form?
I think I don't know. I think for me personally, with the way that I've read it, it benefits the banks.
Have you actually read it? I mean, you're reading what people write about it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can actually read these things. Yeah.
But from everything that everybody has put or said about this bill, and I've used AI to go ahead and try to figure these bills are crazy. But like at the end of the day, it's just like, does it really, benefit retail?
Regulatory certainty always benefits retail and the industry as a whole, even if the regulations are not optimal. I mean, just historically speaking, certainty is very important. So in my opinion, no, most of the details don't particularly matter. It'll harm certain companies. Coinbase may not come out of this looking very good. And as a shareholder of Coinbase from very early on, and I've still held on my stock, that makes me a little bit worried for them. I might put on, some protection at some point. But no, I think that regulatory certainty is a necessary evil and it's good for the industry. Yeah.
The bill that they talked about earlier, compared to the one now that's had like over 100, amendments done to it, that's really what I'm like. I feel like it just benefits. Obviously, the banks are scared.
What concerns you most about it?
I think
the banks end up winning a little bit.
I want to see yield. I want to see people make money on their money. That's really it. So, like, if there's a way that people
they will. They will.
Say it again, Mike.
Oh, they will. It's too obvious that they have to. And if anybody with a dollar bill can earn yield, anybody with a virtual token dollar can earn yield eventually. The rules will have to be set, but there's going to be a million ways around anything they do. Anyway.
You just know, like, when things pass, though, like, it's hard to go ahead and, especially here,
not when the dollars flow in. I mean, that's the thing I hate about our industry so much now is that, so many lobbying dollars have to go in, but things can change after you pass a bill. It changes all the time. I don't know. I can't control it, so I'm not worried about it, if that makes sense.
I got it.
But what I can do is view the fiscal situation and what's happening to mortgage rates and why, what's going to happen at the Fed, what Treasury's been doing. And it looks to me like we're printing a lot of dollars into a somewhat inflationary environment. And that makes me feel pretty damn good about my positioning right now. So
altcoins, do you believe they've been in a bear market since 2022? Haven't
they been? Definitionally?
I mean, this will be the first. This is why people are confused.
Yeah, because the selling days are over for altcoins. When I started, and I mean seriously, for like the first 3 years, we didn't lose money on a single deal.
Yeah,
and it was like 150 companies or something. We kind of broke even on some, but we didn't lose money on a single deal. That's not sustainable. And then more capital flooded the system, and more startups happened that were more and more questionable. And then we've had write-offs for sure. And it's starting to appear more like normal venture, where you've got, 5 to 6 winners out of 10. and one or two are the real winners, and pay back the fund many times over. And we've had a couple of those, but they were several years ago now. But in general, altcoins, we need to have a pruning stage with altcoins anyway. So, and we need truly functional things. David, here's where I disagree on a lot of the current thinking, though, is I still think that other than Polymarket, there are very compelling apps coming for regular people.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, most venture activity in that area has stopped, and there aren't that many companies trying. Seeing a lot of stuff in insurance and reinsurance and all kinds of like financial pipelines, but just fun stuff where people can use gaming, stuff like that. Dead right now. And I believe, just based on past patterns in technology, that somebody's going to come out of nowhere or something that's going to hit us over the head, like Polymarket, maybe something even better, and it's going to sprout an entire new ecosystem. And so the contrarian in me is pretty certain that'll happen soon.
There are a lot of people that have put their bets on, it can be Algorand, it can be XR, whatever. I can name them all out. They haven't, like, only during this whole run, this institutional run on Bitcoin, which retail hasn't come in here. I've been saying this. I don't believe retail has come into the market. Like this cycle, if that's what you want to call it.
They're day trading gold.
But that, okay, so we talk about that.
All the people that used to like day trade crypto, they're doing gold now, or like stocks, right?
But I think here's the thing that I said, because people hit me with, well, retail is here. I'm like, well, retail's here because they're in the stock market. Well, because people know what Tesla is. People know what these items are. They're branded correctly.
Yeah.
We don't brand shit good here in the crypto industry.
That's very well put. So like brand shit good. And
if somebody wants to invest into, let's say we have a great product within the industry, the branding sucks.
Yeah. You think Polymarket's branding sucks?
No, I don't think Polymarket's branding, because you got Tom Brady on during a telecast saying maybe we should go. So like from that standpoint, word of mouth, I think they've done a good job. Will they do better? I mean, listen, they got it on my show. Hopefully, this new asset class of prediction markets does absolutely tremendous.
They will. They already are. But it's not just that. We saw this with IPOs, because my career goes back a long way. We saw this with IPOs, at the late, sort of after 2000 for a couple of years, that companies would limp through the IPO, and the previous years, retail, regular people like me would just buy companies that IPO'd, and they'd be almost certain of going up, right? Yeah. And then there came a period where the best thing you could do was just short everything, and especially 180 days after the IPO when all the insiders were unlocked. And that's happening with altcoins now. Every time something new launches on Binance, there are an army of people, and I know some of them, that just short the perps, and they're making a killing on that. No retail person would be sane to be investing into a market like that, and so they're not. And so everything keeps failing until this doesn't fail anymore, and everything turns. And when it does turn, we'll forget all this even happened.
But what would be the catalyst? No, because I can't believe that we'll have, if this was the cycle and only Bitcoin ran, and then you had like 3 or let's count 7 altcoins that broke all-time high, but barely. If you're going to tell me this was the cycle, this was absolutely horrible.
It was horrible. No, but you asked what would break the cycle. It'll be a revert to mean situation. So you'll have fewer and fewer of these coins going public, right? Yeah. And because everybody knows what's going to happen to themselves, they'll delay as long as they can. More and more people will short as they pile into an obvious trade until everything becomes unbalanced. And we have the great thing about perps is everything becomes so unbalanced. You've got these shorts paying the longs, like these incredible yields. And at some point, everything will unwind violently across the board in a given day or hour, and you've got to reset. That happens every time, and it happens on the way up, too, for the same reason. There are always forces pushing everything back towards the mean. But nothing's out of statistical sort of certainty for us at this point.
Do you think in this year, 2026, you think we have this next leg up in the crypto industry where things go, I listen, I know you're not I know Nostradamus, I get it.
Well, the technicals tell us probably not. The technicals tell us at least us, how we read them, it's all voodoo, is that this year's going to be rough. But those narratives can change. So we think it's more statistically likely that we limp through most of the year than not.
Yeah.
That we may have a dead cat bounce situation. But longer term, I am as bullish as I have ever been, if not more so, seeing what happened with precious metals last year.
Is this a buying, and obviously not financial advice, but is this a buying opportunity for people right now sitting on the sideline? I say it is. I'm buying. Is it a buying opportunity?
I know it's not a buying opportunity when your Uber driver is telling you about Polymarket or XRP or whatever. And you know, like you people see that. Everybody starts talking about crypto, and that's not usually a good time. It's a great time when you buy at the bottom of the market. Like I said, we bought a ton of Bitcoin at $3,500 in late December 2018. Maybe it was January the next year, but in that period, we timed the bottom perfectly.
Yeah,
but we got lucky. All I know is the people I know who've done the best in crypto, with exceptions of outlier entrepreneurs who hit it very big, are the ones that started as early as they could, and they put a little bit of money every day, every week, every month, whatever they could afford, into the crypto blue chips that they liked, and never touched it, and just kept adding to it. Because in the US, if you're a US person, the taxes on it get quite hellish if you trade too much or even a little.
that's why we're holders here.
And that's what makes the most sense. So for guys like us, we have to go out and convince people like you who are holders and say, we'll do better than you will, which means we'll do better than you will after taxes, because we trade a lot.
Yeah.
Although we still hold a lot of that original Bitcoin. We'll just do collars and stuff around it when we need cash. Plus our fees, which are high. And so I have to go to you and say, our fees plus the tax bound, I want you to end up ahead of even that. And we have to date, almost every investor, one or two to exactly the wrong time invested, haven't. But generally that, people who have access to funds like ours, it's far better for them to do exactly what you do. Buy and hold, and then buy more, and then buy some more.
Tech. By the way, everybody, welcome to the Breakdown episode 669. I'm joined here by Michael Arrington, legend. Tech very well. I'm I would say mostly on X. You go on X, formerly known as Twitter, and everybody's talking about AI agents running out, getting Mac Minis, installing AI agents onto a local drive. What do you think about AI? Where do you think it's going? Is it a bubble, or is it actually going to do a lot of great things for not just companies, but for individuals that know how to use AI? Or
I
will
think the
dedicate
answer,
themselves to learning how to have
say
AI?
that last part again, David.
So
is it a bubble, or is it what?
Is it a fad where like people are just gonna end up selling all their MacBooks and all the Mac Minis that they've bought because they're gonna be frustrated because they don't understand how AI works, and the same people that just type in and say to an AI agent, "Hey, build me a company, make me a lot of money, do it within 5 minutes." These people are going to end up probably selling their Mac Minis because that's not how AI works. I see AI as an assistant. I think it's absolutely great. But do you see it as a fad though? Like everybody running out right now, getting MacBooks and all these computers to set up AI agents. Do you think this is a fad where like only 10% will be left here that actually understand AI, where it will actually benefit their businesses? Or will this fade away and people will come back, let's say, into crypto? Because a lot of people are leaving crypto for AI.
Yeah,
I get that message a lot.
a lot of people are leaving crypto as developers and going to AI. That is something that people coming out of college are far more interested in AI than in crypto right now, which makes total sense. It's just more fun. But at first you asked, is it a bubble? And I said, yes. Then you said, is it a fad? And it's a different question. Is AI in general in a bubble? Yes. That doesn't mean that it isn't all the things promised. It just means by that certain investors are going to have their hat handed to them. They're going to lose their heads on this. So that's why I don't really care if it's a bubble. You'll have, what's happening with RAM right now and everything like that. It'll get sorted out in a year or two. People testing AI at home. I mean, if I was in college, that's all I would be doing right now. Nothing else other than that, with whatever the best hardware I could get my hands on. And I think AI is quite clearly, I don't even feel like I'm going on a limb here. It's fundamentally changing human society in a way that we've never had it change before. And it's going to happen extremely quickly. And everybody should read The Fourth Turning. So, because we know what's going on. Yeah.
That is, I like that. I particularly, I use AI as a personal assistant. I know a lot of people take AI and they turn it into their, they change their entire personality.
They're therapists.
Say that again, Mike.
Oh, they use it as a therapist. That's a very common usage for regular people. Yeah. And it's great if they do it right. Yeah.
I'm thinking, I see a lot of excitement towards AI, the same excitement that I saw when people first started to get into crypto. So that's why I say, like, I feel, and I've spoken to so many people that have been here for a long time. You even said it, that people got in the markets. People have got out of crypto in a sense and gone into AI. And you said if I was in college, I'd be going right into AI. So I see that happening. I just hope that, and I think, and I believe that crypto and AI work hand in hand. So I hope
for sure
we get rid of all,
particularly the agents.
We don't need, like when Vitalik came out, Mike, and said, just now after 3 or 4 years, we don't need so many L2s and L1s all over the place. Yeah, you're right. Like, we don't need them. We had 50,000 L2s doing the same. They brought nothing to the table. I look at crypto as an industry. There's only like a few things, maybe 5% of the protocols out here that are actually doing something, that actually solve something. The rest of them,
not even close to 5%, but I get what you're saying.
I'm being nice. You get it. I think I agree with you. A lot of these things are going to disappear. We don't need 50,000 we don't need 50,000 L1s or 50,000 L2s. We need to focus on developing these things that actually solve issues. That's it. And I think, 1% will be left. When all is said and done, a few of them will be left. The rest of them are going to absolutely go to zero. And you'll one day say, I had it, like Namecoin or something like that. So
did you say meme coin or what?
Say that again.
Did you say meme coin? What
no,
did you say?
I'm going back in the day with like Namecoin, like
Namecoin. Yeah.
Remember all these cryptos that came out and they all disappeared. All to say they were the second coming of Bitcoin. They all disappeared. Now, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. We have 21.3 million cryptocurrencies.
Do we really?
21.
How many of those are meme coins?
A lot. Pump.fun. I've been very critical. Yes, we're a decentralized industry. Yes, you can come in here and build whatever you want. You should take the opportunity. You're probably first to market if you're building in this industry, because nobody's really taking advantage of what we have here, right? So if you build something out that actually solves a real use case, congratulations. First to market. Pump.fun is a casino, 100%. We know it. It's a casino, and now especially
kind of fun though.
It is. People make money. They'll make money, but now it's like there's no liquidity in the market. Retail is not in this. Well, I get it, but retail's not like retail. The normie's not in this market because $1.28 trillion in consumer credit card debt. Subprime is not even being talked about. How horrible that is. Like, I'm looking at all this, and when people say retail's in crypto, I'm like, retail's not in crypto. We've done, like I said earlier, we've done a horrible job branding or explaining in layman's terms how all this stuff works. You guys are talking in C++, Solidity, Python. Nobody on 95% of the world does not understand what you're saying. They don't know.
You're right.
They want Instagram. I install Instagram. I take a picture. I put a filter on it. I do cosmetic surgery on myself. I put a caption. I post it out to the world. That's it. I want it simple. It's an instant gratification world we live in, and we have people who are hella smart, but they think they're impressing people with coding language. No. When Elon comes out there, he's not talking about the code behind FSD. He's showing you what FSD does. The benefit of you can drive 9 hours and you're not tired. Okay? That's what he's showing you things in real time.
Look, you're right. But look, before again,
That's the frustration, Mike. That is the frustration.
But it's just market. I mean, look, computers kind of sucked before Steve Jobs came along.
Yeah.
And we will have our Steve Jobs, and it might even be Elon, but I don't think so because he hasn't put that much interest in crypto. But we will have those guys, and that will build the products that people actually want to use. So, buck up. It's going to be great. We get to gloat later. All the people that left, we get to gloat because it happens every time.
Before you go, Mike, I just want to say I left it. By the way, I want to do a one-on-one podcast, like real life kind of thing, and just talk about everything that you've done in your career because you've done amazing things.
Love
So
to. Yeah.
I never get to. I have you on here. Sailor came. A lot of people, and we just
I saw Sailor.
conversation.
Yeah.
Normal conversation, not that CNBC stuff. No, respect to them, but not that CNBC, hip piece kind of. Just want to have a convo. At the end of the day, I'm rooting obviously for this space. I want everybody to participate. I just, I read one of the greatest papers ever written, and that's the white paper. And it was just like, get away from the banking system, right? Mainstream.
One of the greatest. What's the other? What are other great white papers?
No, there's a lot of great. There's other papers and books that really very, very
it changed everything.
But
I mean, it's almost I've said before, and people didn't understand, but like Bitcoin wasn't invented; it was discovered. And not to take anything away from Satoshi, but what I mean by that is it was inevitable. It was one of those things that when somebody finally invented it, it appears to be so inevitable. And, that happens rarely. And it's such an important milestone in human growth for all the reasons written in the white paper and all the reasons that your audience already knows that's enough. Yeah. And if we find other uses for it, which we already have, it's huge, and it does go hand in hand with AI. Hopefully, in a way that works out well for humanity. But regardless, crypto's here to stay.
You think quantum computing is just
nope? Actually, the COO of our fund was the COO of Rigetti Computing, one of the quantum computing companies. He took it public, so we have a pretty deep well of knowledge there, and it's very exciting. But I think it's a little ways off. And I think Bitcoin will self-protect before then. I hope. If not, it sucks. I still got some physical gold. So
let's hope that everything continues to go according to plan. Obviously, I'm thinking Sailor at the numbers that he's at. I'm sure that I don't think he's that crazy to go ahead.
No, Sailor's a genius. Yeah,
I think he wins out so big. I think he makes a lot of people just look really dumb.
He already has, but yeah.
I seen the CNBC interview before you go, and I'm thinking to myself, they still don't understand, and that's why I keep on saying like we're the new mouthpiece for finance. They still don't get it. Like they don't even try to come prepared. They're just it's just an attack on. Well, why are you doing this? Don't you care about your clients?
It's willful ignorance.
I mean,
it is what it is.
2.5 years. The 2.5 years, that's the next halving. Like I have enough. Like they're not even trying to read into this. So I don't know. I just the interview that I watched, I was like, man, this is. I mean, just try to educate yourselves on the goddamn assets already. You'll have to report on them anyway.
David, listen, man. You need a hug. If I were in person, I would be hugging you right now. But it's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be just fine.
I am bullish. Don't take. I am just honestly. It's really just. It's passion. I want to see more people get.
Yeah, you see what's going wrong. You want it fixed. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I just want more people here. That's it. More people get the opportunity. I want to build some cool stuff, and I want to see some people actually build and not just just take people's money and run off to the next.
Yep. Go America and the world.
America.
Go
Thank
America.
you so much. I appreciate you, Mike. I really do.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. I'll come back anytime, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye, David. That
is Michael Arrington, ladies and gentlemen. And if I can go ahead, my technical difficulties today. This is. I have a legend come. You know what? You know what's frustrating? I think you know what's frustrating for me. I've had Michael come on. I've been waiting to get this interview with Michael Arrington, and the entire time, network difficulties. My entire screen was black. I think that's where he said, like, hey, I'm frustrated because of this goddamn program today. I love crypto, though. I really do. I love this entire ecosystem. I love this industry. I love the fact that you can network with so many talented individuals and so many people with experience. I love everything about it. I can't hide the passion that I have. By the way, for some reason, our show's not working on X. I don't know what to say anymore. Everywhere else, though, big numbers, by the way. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Big numbers everywhere else. I think it's because we had the show start 3 times. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was not going to reschedule this. I'm going to make sure I do a one-on-one interview with Michael Arrington. We have a lot set up with a lot of other people, notable people. I want to sit down. There's a lot of things that I'm going to review after this show. There are things that were said and that made me think. Really made me think. He's not even worried. He's like, not even worried. If this, by the way, if this were to be the end of the cycle, this has been one of the worst cycles of all time. $100%. The only people, seriously, you know what? As much as I love Trump, right? But Trump, they caked. They really caked. And you know, that's another thing. I said, if you rewind some of my podcasts, go back like 4 or 5 years ago, 6, I said that 97% of these assets won't exist. They'll all go away. I'm talking about real assets like you have Chainlink and like they're going to Chainlink is in bed. In bed, they're just practically sleeping at the White House. These are the things that I want to buy up and make sure that I have because they're going to go up. I believe it. Ultimate goal, I always say, is to get as much Bitcoin as possible. Michael, at the end of this interview, at the end of this, I was laughing. He said, "Oh, I have gold." It's frustrating, man. It's network connection. I tell you right now, you could do everything possible to have everything set up correctly, and it's just like, man, everything that could go wrong was going wrong. I'm hearing Michael echo. I'm hearing myself echo. I have like the state-of-the-art equipment here in the studio. And I am trying my hardest. I'm giving a post-game speech right now. This is a post-game interview. This is post-game. I take my craft seriously, man. I take this very seriously. You guys already know. You guys have been tuning in for how long, man? How long have you guys been tuning in? Hey, Michael Arrington has no problem with the Clarity Act. My only thing is that when things get passed, it takes so long. So let's say hypothetically the Clarity Act gets passed, right? Let's say the Clarity Act gets passed. By the way, there's one thing that he said. This might hurt Coinbase. Michael Arrington was on here and said, like, the Clarity Act passing in its current form might hurt Coinbase. By the way, TikTok loves Michael Arrington. I know why you guys love him. I know exactly why you love him. All the ISO heads are in here. All the ISO heads You can find everybody who is in love with XRP, Algorand, XDC, Hedera, or you're gonna find all of them on TikTok. You won't find them on X because X is you'll predominantly find Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then you have the meme economy going on. Man. Welcome to the breakdown. Episode 669, sponsored by Midnight. Privacy matters. You talk about Zcash and you talk about Monero, and I like both of them. You got to talk about Midnight. We need privacy. By the way, all these Fortune 500 companies that we talk about, that you talk about, how are they go? I'm going to say this again. How are they going to send out payroll? Here's an example. Fortune 500 companies want to get into crypto, right? They want to send stable coins, hypothetically, to all their people. How are they going to do that? They do that on chain, and everybody in the company sees it. Everybody in the company sees what everybody else is getting paid. How do you think that's going to work out? You're going to have people leaving. You're going to have people yelling and screaming. How is this one who's lower than me on the totem pole getting paid more? You're going to have that. You need privacy. You need privacy. You need Midnight. Companies need to be able to send out whatever the payment is, stable coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, Solana, whatever you want to throw in here. They need to be able to send it out and not have a headache where people can see exactly what Jamie or Julie or Tara or Lisa, all you're doing is you need privacy. And you also need a really good wallet, Cake Wallet. Shout out to Cake Wallet. Michael Aronson asked me about Polymarket. I think Polymarket, honestly, in my honest opinion, yeah, they're my official prediction partner for my brand. But at the end of the day, it's a new asset class. And you know what they got? Let's talk about it. They got it right with the tariffs. Prediction markets got it right with the tariffs. They said it was like, I think it was at one point yesterday or the day before, it was like there was a 38% chance that the Supreme Court would hold the tariffs for Trump. It was in the 70s that they would reject it. They would strike it down. Polymarket got it. And people are people are going on to Polymarket and, they're doing homework. They're doing research. And they're making money. They are on there because people are taking the time to study the markets, study news, study current events, trending news, and they're probably doing better than they would be if they were in crypto. Think about that. Another thing that Michael Aronson said is that a lot of people left. We've been talking about that, but a lot of people have exited crypto to invest in something else. They'll be back, though. That always happens. You know what I've been hearing from him, Scaramucci, all these people that have come on to this show? There's money out there. People will be back. But I almost feel like there needs to be a catalyst. There needs to be some. Michael Aronson said it. A lot of people have said this. Something needs to come along that brings everybody back into the crypto ecosystem. We don't have that right now. We don't have a catalyst to bring back people into crypto right now. So all you can do right now is if you believe in crypto, if you believe we will make a major comeback, then you continue to just buy. if you believe we are done, if you believe people are going to now jump into AI and whatever, then I say, I've seen this show so many times, except that this show is a little bit different. This season's a little bit different. This is a different season of this show. It's a little bit different. A little bit different. Way different. It's a way different show than in the past. 100%. Can't front on that. Can't front on that. Welcome to the breakdown. Now everything's working. Now when the guest is gone, everything's working. Now when the guest is gone, everything is working. Do I throw my microphone at the monitors? Like, what do I do here? I'm not a violent person, but I'm absolutely upset. Seriously, I bring on an OG, a legend, somebody who's been in the markets for such a long time, and nothing was cooperating, man. I gotta tell you, I was like truly upset, man. Nothing is literally cooperating with me. Everything's against me, man. That's why a lot of people record. Live shows are the hardest thing to do. I think I've become somebody who's absolutely fantastic at live shows, but like sometimes, man, I gotta tell you, I'm still bitching about it, but sometimes, you know what? It's not that you get flustered. It's just like, man, fuck, everything just continues to go wrong. I think if I would have came back onto this show, here's what I think. If it just would have, the first time it happened, great. Now I come back onto the show, everything's working. We got to do a part 2, a restart to this. I'm fine, right? I'm totally fine. I'm cool, calm, and collective. I'm focused. When everything just starts breaking down, it is just like, what the fuck is happening? What the Axe body spray? Somebody just commented disgusting Axe body spray. No, by the way, Axe body spray and Slim Jim send me like these special edition products. I don't know, like you dudes, if you're spraying Axe body spray on you, that's crazy, okay? Spraying Axe body spray, I believe, okay, this is not medical advice or anything, but I think Axe body spray, it was the cure to COVID, because have you ever smelled Axe body spray? Have you ever smelled Axe body spray? Just a little tap of Axe body spray. Yo, you're done. You're absolutely done. I remember when I was in school and like people would spray Axe body spray on themselves. The whole locker room would exit. You're in tears. It's like fucking chemical warfare. It's tear gas. You don't know where you are. You feel like a concussion bomb went off. You don't know where you are. It's like you're like Van Damme in Bloodsport. It's like it's just like he's like doing that whole thing. Anybody watch Bloodsport? Van Damme, great movie. That is what it's like when Axe body spray is anywhere near you. It's like, oh, it's just like the whole scene of him remembering having memories. Yeah, like that's what you go through. You're having memories, like you're praying to God that you're not gonna die, that you're gonna have your vision come back. Axe body spray, man. That's crazy. Yo, you want to stop wars? You want to put an end to wars? Like, you just go ahead and spray Axe body spray. It's over, man. Ain't nobody fighting. The military should spray Axe body spray on themselves. Yo, you imagine how smart I am. Look how smart I am. You spray Axe body spray on yourself and you run after the enemy. Ain't nobody. Nobody's trying to fight with you. And nobody's trying to fight with you. Axe body spray is the same thing. You know what's next to it? Subway. I ate Subway once. Okay? My experience eating Subway, oh my God, trash. But here's the part. Not only is the sandwich is fake, okay, speculation, but I think the sandwich, I don't know where they get their meats or where the meats were created. I don't know where the bread was created. But if you put like a Subway hero in your car, let's say, right? Your car will smell like Subway for the next 45 years. It's that bad. It is that bad. You imagine eating it too? Like now you're eating Subway, you smell, your pores are like coming out with Subway. Like, I'm going in today. I am going in today. I know I look presidential. I know I look like I can stand right next to Marco Rubio, and we can go ahead and put belt to ass on a lot of these people that talk shit about the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. I can stand right there and be a part of the president's cabinet. I don't know. I probably got offered a job, and I just never opened the email up. Ladies and gentlemen, Cash Out does not eat sandwiches. By the way, I just want to say that I was able to fix my camera, so now I look even more handsome now than I have looked before. Okay, I don't know. I've been watching some of my streams, and number one, I got to talk to Elon, because I don't know what you're doing. You're making me. Some of the streams, I look like death. Okay, I look like I'm starring in the movie Death. Okay, or I'm looking like Powder, the movie Powder. If y'all never watched the movie Powder, I'm not gonna give it away, but it's about his mom got hit by lightning. Okay, and then he comes out, he's white as hell. Watch that movie, and some of my clips that I've watched, I'm like, holy shit, I'm not this white. If you saw me in person, you wouldn't say, oh, like, look at this white guy. No, you would not say that. So what have we talked about today? We've talked about Axe body spray. Axe body spray is lethal. I think it damages your brain in the process. Okay, like you spray Axe body. If you're a man and you're spraying Axe body spray on yourself, you need therapy. Okay, you need therapy. Or you're spraying it on yourself so you can keep people away from you. It's either or, okay? There's no in between. There is no sun right now. There is no goddamn. Somebody said sun is good for you. I love the sun. I'm at the beach. I love tanning. Okay, I love getting the golden tan. My entire family gets the golden tan that you would get in Aruba. I'm out here in New York. Not New York City, New York. I'm out here. We ain't got no sun. This snow is finally going away. And I don't know, when did it snow? Like 2 weeks ago? This snow's starting to finally go away. And they're talking about more snow. You know, crypto did this to, you know why crypto went down? You know why crypto went down? It's because you guys refuse to take showers, to change your underwears, refuse to wipe your asses, okay, refuse to put deodorant on to smell good. You guys go to conferences and you try to pick up girls. There's like, you know how many women are in this industry? Okay, let's break it down. Real women in this industry, 0.5%. Women in this industry, 5-7%. These women finally go to a conference, and your nerdy ass, your goddamn nerdy ass is at this conference trying to showcase your goddamn NFT collection and your dead ass meme tokens to these women that are like, they're just minding their business. literally walking up, hey girl, you want to see my NFT collection? No, stupid. What? I've seen this in person though. I've seen this happen. I've seen dudes walk up to women within our industry and they're like, they think they're macking like, oh, check out my wallet. Check it, I got this airdrop. Did you get it? Like, the fuck you talking about? What do you, hi. How about you try to say hello? Hi, my name is Gerald. Hey, I don't know, I just threw out it. My name is Gerald. How are you doing? Are you enjoying yourself? That's the, hey, how about that approach? Not the stalker approach, okay? No wonder 90% of you guys are goddamn virgins. Seriously. A lot of you guys are goddamn virgins. You look like you're a bunch of stalkers, man. You're itching your neck. You see these guys itching their neck, like, just like looking stupid, bro. Like, y'all made so much money, but y'all can't dress. Like, what is it? Y'all made so much money, y'all can't dress. You don't even have to get like Hugo Boss or Prada, DK. Like, you don't have to get any of this stuff, bro. Ferragamos and shit. You can get cheap stuff that looks the part. You guys don't iron your shirts. You smell like doo-doo. That's why crypto's down. You know why crypto's down? Because you chased all the women out of crypto. There you go. There you go. I've always said women are way more mature than the dudes here. Have you ever listened to the guys have a conversation? Have you? For 5-10 minutes, I will tune into a Bitcoin space on Twitter. They are fighting with each other. I'm talking about fighting about the stupidest shit in the world. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with crypto. They're not breaking down blockchain, how it works, blocks, mining, electricity. None of that. None of these conversations are happening. None. You are the reason why you have chased out all the women in this space. The real women. I'm talking about the mature women, not the ones that come onto social media every day and say, good morning, GM, and they're half naked. No. And by the way, what are you women doing? You should be on OnlyFans. Can I say this again? If you are coming out here with your bikini on, okay? If you are butt naked and you're posting pictures on Twitter and saying, GM, what are we going into? You need to be on OnlyFans. It's not going to work out here, bro. Elon is not paying you a lot on monetization. I'm going to tell you that right now. You ain't going to get shit from monetization. Go on to OnlyFans. Do your thing. You ain't bringing knowledge to the space anyway, okay? Some of the dudes need to go to OnlyFans, but ain't nobody going to tune into them. So I can't encourage that. Welcome to the breakdown. There are wonderful women in this space. I'm telling you right now, I've met such wonderful women, knowledgeable, well-spoken, can articulate themselves, really good women. We need women, more women to come into this space because then our space becomes more mature, okay? It becomes way more mature. And we've had an influx of women that have come into this industry. But we make it hard for them to stay here. Maybe a lot of them have pivoted to AI. Maybe a lot of them said, fuck this. I can't deal with these motherfuckers. I'm going to conferences. They're coming up to me with their wallets. These guys are sipping on juice. Guy got a milk carton. Got some milk, chocolate milk, walking around, old school milk. quarter waters. No wonder. We scared the shit out of people. And then when is retail coming? Never. You know what? Retail's never coming. After seeing some of you guys, they ain't never coming to this space. If somebody wanted to get kidnapped, then they would come to this space. Because all you guys are a bunch of stalkers, bro. A lot of people want to blame the meme economy for everything that's happened. Number one, leave the real memes alone. Leave the real memes alone. Put the real memes to the side. The ones that have lore to them in history, that people know, that people meme with, that people put into the comment section. Leave those memes alone. And don't talk down on memes. Everybody memes. Life is a meme. I keep on saying this. And if anything can spark interest back in this goddamn space, it's maybe a meme. Seriously, because they're relatable. Because during the show, I did say, and I said it to Michael Arrington, I said, y'all made this too complicated. All this code talk. You got developers talking code. Have you looked at the people investing? You think they know code? You think they know what C++ C++ is? Do you think they know Python? Like you developers are talking to people as if they understand this very language. And then you're like, "Oh man, I built something really good. Why don't people participate in my project?" Because you don't brand, you suck at branding, you don't want to pay for branding, you want to use your money that you do have on washed up KOLs and influencers because you think they're going to get people who are still here, who have some sort of interest in crypto. You think you're going to get them into your project. These KOLs and influencers don't even know code. So they don't even know how to explain your project. You're fucked on all sides. Some people went to school and some people were able to build a calculator using Visual Basics. Congratulations. After that, I think most people said, fuck it, I'm done with this. Welcome to the breakdown, man. You know what? I am ripping the Band-Aid off today. I am so fucking frustrated that I had 3 shows. 3 shows today. This is the 3rd one. And it's not because I wanted to have 3 shows. That was not the game plan. The game plan wasn't to have 3 shows. Okay? The game plan definitely was not to have 3 shows today. I sit here and I want to vent. Michael Arrington also said, if you missed it, I'm just breaking down a lot of the things that were said here. Michael Arrington said he doesn't think 2026 is going to be a parabolic year. It might go sideways the entire year. How many people will be able to go ahead and make it? Like, think about it. If that is the case, how many people will be able to survive in crypto? It's bad. It's bad. If that does happen, I think, I'm telling you right now, people are ready. I've spoke to, and I really mean this, I speak to a lot of people daily. There are people that I get on a call with, and they're just like, man, I don't know. And that's the conversation. And they're calling me for hope because they know I'm very optimistic about everything. I'm optimistic about life. And I'm the most bullish person you'll ever meet. And I'm looking at the markets and I'm still bullish on them. But you have people calling me and they want hope. And the only hope I can give you is if you believe in this space, if you believe in what Satoshi laid out, okay, we'll make it. But take your opportunity. Take the opportunity to go ahead and acquire as much good shit as possible. That's all I can really say. That's all I can say here. Acquire as much as possible. Front run the entire market. That's it. That is it. I personally believe, I'm not down, I believe we're going to have a fantastic comeback. What did I say previously or for months? The longer this goes on, the longer the market is suppressed in the way it is today, the more that it's held down like this, the more violent the rip will be. And I believe that. And I believe that everything will run together. The real projects will run together. The shitty projects won't do, they'll still go up, but they ain't gonna do the numbers that you think they're going to do. Chainlink being at $8 or $9 is embarrassing, especially that they are absolutely joint at the hip with the people in the White House. Swift banking system. You have Chainlink working with Swift. There is, my thing is, and this is, I think I didn't even get to this. There's so much good news. We've had nothing but good news that has come out from Washington, from politicians, from big time institutions. You've had so much good that has come out. You imagine if we go back to previous cycles, if we had this kind of news, what would happen? 2016 with this kind of news, we would have been at fucking $500,000. This kind of news in 2021, we would have been at $1.3 million on Bitcoin. This, whatever you want to call this shit, whatever you want to call this, you're going to tell me we only went to $4.2 trillion market cap, total market cap, and that's it? And most of that was Bitcoin. 90% of that was Bitcoin. So we had a run? Or have we been in an extended bear market? Have we been in an extended bear market? By the way, the last time things went up, it was due to a part of it, I think, Pepe. We were in an illiquid market, and Pepe sent. I remember this because I went to New York City for the NFT NYC event, and here comes Pepe. Okay, and that's why in one sense I don't like going to conferences, because I feel like every single time I go to a conference, something pops off. Something new pops off. And you're like at a conference and you're stuck because you need to speak and you're networking and you don't have time to click the buy buttons. Welcome to the breakdown. Episode 669, sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet really building out here. Not like Midnight isn't. I'm just saying Cake Wallet's been building for years. Shout out to the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand, that is Polymarket. That's right. So how I want Polymarket. And get that out fast enough. So what? So the Feds are gonna have to print, and if the Feds start printing and inflation, that's all positive news for crypto, right? If you're an American, right? If you're an American citizen like myself and you love America, you want the printing to come to an end. You don't want to see them print anymore. You want to bring down the deficit. You want to bring down the debt. Like, that's what I want to see happen. But at the end of the day, if you're in crypto, you're watching everybody else go up. And how many times have I said this? We watched everything else send. Every market send. And here we are, sitting here, watching crypto just fucking wait. Maybe crypto needs a jump start, man. Maybe the battery died. The car's good, the battery's dead. Maybe it just needs a jump start. Where is the catalyst? And that's another thing we're getting wrong. Where's the catalyst? We're looking for the next roaring kitty. You could be the next catalyst. It has to come from us. It has to come from crypto. And I agree with Mike when he says, hey, something is going to be created which will go and set things off. Somebody create something in crypto then. Somebody create something. By the way, and I mean this, 99% of project branding sucks. I watch it, I observe it, I sit back. You guys take the short route. You take the short route, you pay massive money to people that do not know branding, okay? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You sidestep people who know what they're doing because you don't want to pay them. Instead of paying somebody $30,000, $50,000 to go ahead and help you brand and help your product go to the next level, and they're able to go ahead and explain it to not only their audience, but multiple audiences. In layman's terms, you skip that and you give it to people that have absolutely no understanding how blockchain even works. That's the problem. Why are more people investing into stocks? Because people, I'm gonna say this for another show, three straight shows already. When people enter the stock market, they know the brands already. The brands have been they've already been put out there. They've been marketed correctly. So these people know what a Tesla is. They know what Citibank is because they bank with them. They know what JP Morgan is because a lot of people bank with Chase. Anything I name out to you right now, people know. They know what Facebook is. They know what, I can keep going. They don't know what, like I said, they don't know what 99% of the shit here. If they have money, if retail has money, well, the only thing they know about crypto and the industry is Bitcoin. They know Bitcoin. Some might know Ethereum, and they can't pronounce Ethereum. Okay? If you ever heard somebody pronounce Ethereum, they can't pronounce it. They think it's a weird name. Okay? You have got Solana that people might know, and that's it. That's it. Maybe they've read in the papers, oh, Chainlink. I saw something with Swift and Chainlink. Maybe they know XRP. But that's it. Think about it. They don't know anything else because the branding has been so poor. You know what? I'm really ripping the Band-Aid off here today. Do you know if you look at Apple products, right? Apple products, I'm sure there's tech out there that is better than Apple, right? That it is better than Apple, that's better than your iPhone, right? Maybe there are some Androids that are better than your iPhone. Do you know why people choose Apple over everything else? Like Apple will come out with a feature that has already been out for 3 years. Do you know why people choose Apple over everything else? It's because of the presentation. It's because they make it an event. The branding and the marketing, it's an event. It is a show. That's why people choose an Apple or Mac products over everything else, because it's simplified, it's made easy. You don't have to go ahead and lose your hair over it and have your hair turn gray. It is just simplified. It's made easy for the instant gratification goddamn society we live in today. Like, think about the Apple products. Every year a new phone comes out and it's like, oh, bigger battery, bigger processor, and a camera that's improved. And you're like, oh my God, did you hear the latest? The new iPhone has a new camera, okay, that could take a picture of you from 3 feet away with a 6-second time. Like, bruh. The marketing is on point. The marketing is on point. The branding is on point. You got none of that here. I look at some of the projects within the crypto space and digital asset space, and they're amazing. People would get into them if they knew what the fuck they did. People would really get into a lot of these things if they had a better understanding. Like, you know what? I don't think XRP is that bad. I really don't. I don't think Ripple is bad. I think Ripple solves a use case for the banking industry. Whether you like the banks or not, I'm not a big fan of the banks. The banks will never go away. There is a need for a solution for faster payments, cross-border payments for the banking system. Well, guess what? Ripple has the product. So there's nothing, but you don't know that. You've been tuned to hate XRP for whatever reason. You don't like Brad Garlinghouse. Yet this man, Brad Garlinghouse, I'm going to give him credit. Brad Garlinghouse came out when he worked at Yahoo and he said, Yahoo's going to die if you don't go ahead and switch this shit up. If more people took the time and if there were better people that could go ahead and dumb down the content and explain what XRPL does, they get into XRP. The problem is memes, whether you like memes or not, memes are just way more relatable and people can understand what they are at face value. That makes it easier to go ahead and get into these things. You don't have people talking about all the coding and the languages that went into it and how hard it was. And no, it's simple. Half of these memes that society sees, they use, like the meme tokens that are on chain, some of these people don't even have a bag, but they have a whole load of memes in their folders on their phones, and they use them when necessary when they're making comments on social media platforms. They're not using Near Protocol, okay, to go ahead and make a case to you about. Do you get where I'm going with this? Everything's a meme. Life is a meme. Okay. Somebody, I'm just replying to somebody in the chat on TikTok. Everything is a meme. Life is a meme. Okay. Every single thing is a meme. That's why when people say like memes, oh, memes are bad. When you had Benjamin Cohen come out and say like memes are bad. No, Benjamin, they're not bad. And they didn't kill the crypto industry. Okay. 1% of the total, if that, the total market cap of this environment will not do damage, okay? What kills this industry are the market makers and perps and people leveraging. Talk about that. That kills people in this industry. That sends people home broke. Talk more about that. Talk about that a little bit more. The easy way to go about blaming people in this industry is looking at the memes. The memes bring people to the goddamn dance. Because your products suck at brands, at brand awareness, brand marketing, all that suck. Absolute trash. You got Joe. Do you realize you don't even have marketing professionals on the team? A lot of these teams who have money, they don't have real marketing brand professionals on the squad. They got some dude who they found on the internet who just got into the industry. Or just take what Porsche did. When Porsche came out with their NFTs, they hired a Web 2 company to explain a product in Web 3. Do you understand how stupid that is? You want to try to onboard yourself to a new audience, you hire a Web 2 company that has no clue about Web 3? What are you doing? That has no clue about this crypto industry. Zero about the ecosystem. That's the problem. You waste money on people that have no clue. And then you're mad. Then you're mad that it didn't work out. Then you're mad at the KOL or influencer because it didn't. Don't be mad at them. They saw a payment. They saw an opportunity to make money and they took it. That's it. That's all they did. You told them to go ahead and talk about it on the timeline and make a video. They did. They don't understand it. They just they're either reading off a script or they're just shooting the shit. Hey, check this shit out. I think it's really good. Let me know. That's all it is. That's not marketing. That's not marketing. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown. Episode 669. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's where we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Welcome back. We went overtime, and that's only because when I came on here today, for those who are just tuning in, by the way, welcome to all the TikTok people. Shout out to Twitter as always. Shout out to LinkedIn, the 6 or 7 boomers that watch. No, I'm kidding. My former coworkers do watch me, that I know. Y'all slipped up. You know, like you can see when somebody visits your profile, you can see it. But shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support. There is now the one thing I'll give Restream, even though I'm pissed off at Restream, the one thing I will give Restream is I will now be able to stream on Instagram and Facebook starting next week. So bigger audience, people that do want to see me but refuse to go on Elon's platform because they feel like Elon is a bad person now, yet they still drive a goddamn Tesla. You know, weird. Listen, today what went down was this breaking news. We had the Supreme Court strike down tariffs that Trump went ahead and implemented on countries that weren't trying to do business the right way with the United States of America. 6-3 was the vote. And a lot of them usually vote for Trump. But to me, again, the court's getting in the way and making this ruling. I felt like it's a ruling against the United States of America. But apparently Trump has come out and said, hold on, let me get this because there's news that came out. There's news that's come out on this. And let's see. By the way, the markets have reacted fine, which is crazy. The markets have reacted. Okay, so Donald Trump said the Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. Hold on. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. I'm not going to, let's see. I'm trying to, where is this shit? Somebody said he put another 10% tariff on. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's see. Top. Bear with me. All the Democrats are like celebrating on the Democrats are celebrating on Twitter, man. Like you guys, like honestly, y'all need to get a life. You guys celebrate. How are you celebrating? I can't. How do you? Why would you be celebrating this? Like it's like you guys like hate America or something. Legal expert Jonathan Turley confirms that Trump has a massive toolbox of additional tariff options, even with the 6-3 ruling to that it's not the end of the road and shit like that. Whatever. The administration has tools; it can impose tariffs on the other statutes. I said that earlier today. I like this post from Scott. If a nation cannot stop other countries from ripping the U.S. off, then we are not a free nation. This ruling goes across our sovereignty. Roberts, they were just naming out all the judges, the Republican conservative judges. This guy is like nothing but a bunch of Democrats now. Let's see, what is this? Oh my God, limited visibility as usual. TikTok has now given me limited visibility because I went ahead and talked about. I gotta appeal now. You guys, you pronoun son of a bitches, man. You really are. So okay, Donald Trump is placing. Here it goes. Donald Trump is placing a 10% global tariff on all goods to the U.S., which will be paid by American citizens. That's what one person says. I remind them, you literally had a revolution because you didn't want to pay a tax on tea. That's a Democrat crying. Okay, let's see. Hold on one second. Trump, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I can do anything I want. Donald Trump imposes a 10% additional tariff on all countries, even after the Supreme Court verdict. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Let's play this. What the hell? What the hell? Let's look at this real quick. Let me get in the picture because my sexy ass wants to be a part of it. Now let's toss this way. Let's make it bigger here. Hold on.
America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut.
Damn. 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 A lot of people celebrating, bro. A lot of people celebrating. Timeline full of Democrats celebrating. Welcome, man. Trump is that Trump. That's a New Yorker right there. That is a New Yorker that is absolutely livid. That is a New Yorker that is livid. Livid. But the markets seem like the markets were unaffected. I don't know. The markets, you would think like the markets would have went down to like $3 or something. Like the markets weren't affected. Anyway. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Wild stuff, man. Wow. Wow. But I'm telling you, man, a lot of products. Before I go, I want to talk about the state of crypto. I feel like this is a state of addressing goddamn the crypto industry. A lot of these assets, like if you guys really don't start hiring really good people to help your brand out, help the messaging. Okay, you guys need to get people into your organization that understand branding, understand how to market to the point where it becomes word of mouth, which is the greatest marketing tool in the world. You guys fail. You fail all the time because you seek cheaper options, and cheaper does not mean better. Okay, and that goes for anything. Cheaper does not mean better. Okay, when you go ahead and hire people for cheap, it does not mean better. You pay for what you pay for what you get, but a lot of people overspend for no reason. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You gotta hire the right people that actually, especially for this industry, in the crypto ecosystem or the crypto industry, the digital asset industry, you need to hire people that understand the language, that have lived and help build in some sort of way, help build this industry, that understand it, that can build that bridge. That's when you become a successful company. So let's say, for instance, Web2 companies, right? Fortune 500 companies that want to get into crypto. You got to hire somebody who's talented within the industry, crypto industry, digital asset industry, to come help you. You don't hire a Web2 company because they don't understand it. Just because they chat GBT'd it doesn't mean that they understand the industry. They don't understand the trenches. They haven't been in the trenches. We haven't seen you in the trenches, okay? They haven't been here 24/7. They haven't been through the ups and downs. They haven't survived bear markets. They don't know what people want, and they don't know how to explain the products to people. Hire somebody who knows and who's been there, and you will see they will bridge you over successfully into the industry, this industry that you want to be in. Pay people that are good to build that bridge for you. Simple. And the reason why I'm talking about this topic is, the reason why I'm on this topic is that I want to see crypto do absolutely great. I want to see all these assets do great. There are a lot of things that have been built out here that are great items, but they're not doing anything because you haven't built an audience. How are you going to, who are you selling your product to? You don't even have a die-hard audience. That's another thing that Apple did. Apple's successful because they have hardcore consumers that will only use Apple products. Tesla, there are cars that come out. I'm gonna tell you right now, there are cars that come out right now. There are EVs that are coming out that might look better and maybe even drive better than a Tesla. Maybe. It might look maybe aesthetically better than a Tesla. But guess what? Tesla, Elon, he knows how to present a brand. It's what I said earlier today on the show. Elon is not telling you the code that has gone into FSD. No. And that's full self-driving, for those who don't know what that means. He is not telling you how they created it. He's showing you what it does and how simple it is. He's simplifying it for you. And that's something, here's some free advice for all you guys. That's something you need to do. Simplify the process. Nobody, it's like with videos, when you make content. You got 7 seconds to sell your shit. After 7 seconds, people scroll next. You got 7 seconds to impress the crowd. Shit, hire people from Vine at this point. Anybody who used to do content for Vine and was successful when I think Vine only gave you 7 seconds to make content and to literally attract people and hold people and build up. Hire those kind of people that took 7 seconds and made something out of it. That made you watch it on repeat again and again and again. That's 7 seconds. That's how you have to be thinking. That's who you need to be hiring. People that can get the message across instantly. You're in the elevator. You walk in, you see a successful VC with you. You got the elevator. You need an elevator pitch. You need to be ready. The elevator is on the 10th floor. It's going to the lobby. You got fucking 15 seconds. What are you saying? How are you telling this person about your product? How are you pitching it? I might be the first person that has ever brought Vine into the equation in terms of marketing and branding. I might be the first person that's ever gone and mentioned that this industry will be successful, but this industry, you know, for the last 4 or 5 days, and I've mentioned this on this show, as I've been thinking, like, the stock market, the traditional markets are doing so well, precious metals, equity, whatever, they're doing fantastic. You would think crypto would be in the same boat. Crypto's going up too. You know, the Dow's making records, NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, like all these things are doing great things. And what's happening with crypto? It's getting left behind. Why? Why is crypto getting left behind? You know why? Because there's no excitement. That excitement, think about this. The excitement that we're looking for is in AI right now. We need to bring that excitement that is going on in AI back to crypto. Why did AI get so popular? People, we need to sit back as an industry. We need to sit as an industry and think, here's AI, great. Here's AI, but they had to explain it, right? They had to break it down. You had to break down AI. Why? Right? Why? This is life-changing. Crypto needs that. We need to be able to explain these protocols and projects without going into the code. What use case does this solve? Here's an example. Ripple. Ready? It's very simple when you're talking to somebody who is not in the crypto industry but wants to come in. What is Ripple? Ripple works with the banking industry and makes cross-border transactions faster. So now, you know how you send funds and it takes like 4 to 5 days to reach a person? instant with Ripple. Oh, that's great. That's it. You're done. That's the onboard. That's the onboarding. Everything else about how it was made, if a person becomes interested in it, great. There's plenty of information for them to learn about what XRPL is, how it works, Ripple, how it came about, David Schwartz, what did he do? He's the CTO, but he worked on Bitcoin Core. Like there are things you can showcase to that person once you have onboarded them. But when you hit a person with the encyclopedia and the goddamn manual, how many people like setting up things from IKEA? That's going to be an example. You know how you guys present things like IKEA? That's how this industry presents things. This industry presents products to the normie like IKEA. 1 out of 10 people like that shit. 9 out of 10 don't want to have anything to do with it. You ever been to IKEA? You can get lost in there, okay? The only reason you're going to IKEA is because you're goddamn desperate, and number 2, because you know IKEA products break down in like 3 days, and 2, you want to get Swedish meatballs, okay? That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason you're going there. The Swedes are gonna get mad at me, but it's the truth. The Swedes are gonna get mad at me, but that is the truth. I said this earlier today. I've said this multiple times. I 100% know that I am the new mouthpiece for finance, for digital assets and all that stuff. Why? Because I can explain this and I can tell you what's going wrong. Because I've been here, I've lived it. A manual, just because you read a book, it's like what Elon said in the past. You know, it's like college. You can read about it, but like, can you actually put all this stuff together? And he'd rather hire people that are self-sufficient, that have learned the craft on their own and weren't given a manual. And that's the same way, like when I look at this industry, like there were no fucking seminars. I'm talking about like there were no goddamn classes that you can attend for blockchain. Maybe 1 or 2, but it wasn't serious. I learned that all on my own. That's why I keep on saying I'm the new mouthpiece for finance. That's why I take this very seriously, because these shows go out to people tune in because they want to get into crypto. They understand the world's going digital. They don't know how to get into crypto. And we've made the onboarding process hella hard. We're so excited to tell people like, oh my God, and we use Solidity and like we use an advanced version of Python and what? That's the reaction you're getting. And you're like, well, I don't understand why this person doesn't understand me, because you're speaking Chinese. You're speaking a foreign language to a person. They don't understand you. They're just trying to get in. Because Buddy over here told Eddie that he made $3 million in 4 days off of a meme token called Rat Dildo with a hat on Inu. And if you think about it, people have gotten so restless and tired that they've said, you know what? For the time being, I'm going over to AI. I'm going to purchase an expensive ass MacBook, okay? Or I'm going to get a Mac Mini. I'm going to set up locally an AI agent, and I'm going to pretend like I know what the fuck I'm doing. That's what's happening right now. Because you have a bunch of people that are going on to. Some people are honest about the intentions and they're actually learning, and then there are 90% of them that are going on Twitter or on Reddit and saying, "Look, oh my God, if you are missing out on on AI, you're doing it all wrong, and they're hyping you up. Yet I said yesterday, in order to understand AI, you're going to need a few weeks to really dig down deep and do some research and figure out how to use these things to your benefit. So now people have gone into AI and into prediction markets, which prediction markets are a new asset class for crypto, but people have left, the old coins. Yeah, hold. Let's wait. They're all coming. The institutions are coming, and memes. People are slowly just like pivoting towards these two asset classes. Will people come back? I believe people will come back, and I believe the real assets will send. So I'm not worried about that, but I'm just telling you what the landscape's like. I believe that prediction markets are just like, they're making it easy. At least the bigger companies like Polymarket are making it easy to go ahead and bet on trending news and stories. Like I said earlier to Mike, I mean, when Tom Brady is saying Polymarket on national TV with millions of people watching, okay, and others commentators have said it, and other, notable people, they say Polymarket out their mouths. That's word of mouth. That's great marketing. AI is being talked about like that. People are excited about AI. But the machine behind, so there's always a machine behind this. It's not the actual like notable names. It's the machines behind it. So when I mean machine, there's a machine. There's people, okay? Wealthy people that have really good marketing departments that push all this messaging out there to get the lower class KOLs and influencers to push this on you and hype it up. That's what's happening. You don't see the real machine behind the curtain. You just see people who see that message first, and now they're out there yelling through the roof about AI is coming, get into AI, set up your... That's it. Same thing with prediction markets. It's the same thing. Crypto is a solution for the unbanked. Crypto is a solution for a better world. I believe that wholeheartedly. Bitcoin is a solution for a better world. Okay? It is. It will unplug you from the fucking matrix. You will be allowed to earn money on your money. You will understand the value of your money. These things are super important. They are very important. But I know people hate me for this. I've been on national TV, and I've gone on national TV, and I've said that memes bring in people into the industry. I think we might need that meme to bring people back into this industry and give some excitement to this industry once again, crank it up again, and then we can showcase the good protocols here. We can show, by the way, privacy should be on everybody's mind. It should be easy, and it will, by the way. But look how people got interested in privacy, because they know privacy is a big issue. Nobody wants anybody to know how much they have in terms of net worth. And there's nothing, you're not trying to hide from people. You're just trying to have privacy. There's nothing wrong with privacy. That's why Midnight is going to be successful. I believe Midnight will be absolutely successful. I know Monero is going to be successful as well. And I know Zcash will go ahead and do its thing. And there's others within the privacy world, projects that will go ahead and do their thing as well, that have been around for a very long time. I already gave you one use case, and that is like, you know what? If you're a business owner, or if you're running a big company and you're paying people in crypto, well, you know what? You need privacy. You need privacy to go ahead and send your employees their salaries without others knowing what they're getting paid, because that becomes a big time conflict. Imagine saying that you don't get value out of this show. Can you imagine saying that there is no value proposition in this show? Can you imagine saying that I don't have that? Like, even after everything that happened today, can you imagine saying that the energy is still not there? Can you imagine saying that I do not look good in this power suit? Okay. Can you imagine saying that I don't look like the next president of the United States of America? Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 669. It is 3:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on that, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. Okay? The weekend's here. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's tuned in to this program. Thank you, Michael Arrington, for coming out and dealing with some technical issues from my side, not his, but my side. Thank you very much. I had an echo going. I had everything possible working against me, but I tried. Okay? And hopefully we can do another interview, and hopefully we can sit down and do a one-on-one, just like I'm prepared to do with Michael Saylor and Grant Cardone. We're going to have a lot of people that we go ahead and do these one-on-ones with. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the DG brand. I'm excited about where it's going. My personal brand, excited. Okay? Excited. People ask me, when are you going to go on mainstream media again? For me, it's like if somebody does reach out, fine, I'll go on. But at the end of the day, I have my platform, and my platform has bigger numbers than mainstream media. So like, I don't need them. They need me. So there you go. I don't care about being on there unless I can go ahead and give, or am I allowed to have time to give off the right message. And that is that crypto is going to do unbelievable. Digital assets are going to make a huge comeback. The opportunity is there for regular people to come in and take advantage of this. I don't have any quotes to leave you off with today. All I want to say is, like I say a lot when I don't have the quote ready, is to just be good to people. Root for people to succeed. Cost you nothing to be a good person, and root for people to go ahead and achieve great things. That's it. This is like, I see a comment, Gary V. I will have Gary V on this year. The one thing that I like about Gary V, he was maybe a little bit of the reason why I bet on myself as an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always had that in my DNA. But sometimes you see messages like, yo, like, take the jump. It is scary to become an entrepreneur. I fell in love with crypto. I saw a need for a personality. And what I mean by that is I saw a need for a media personality to come in here and explain the space. I saw that in me. When I went onto Twitter, even though I was on other platforms, when I went onto Twitter and I saw the mass following I gained because I was just speaking facts, I knew, hey, this is my moment and I want it. But I want it for the right reasons, to bring more people into the digital asset industry, into the crypto ecosystem. This is my moment. Let me take advantage of it. Through that time, there's ups and downs. There are literally ups and downs throughout this entire process. But that's what Gary Vee went through. That's what Patrick Bet David went through. That's what a lot of notable names now have gone through. They go through years of having I'm still here. They go through years of not having an audience, like having a specific audience, but not yet being out there where people recognize the name. I already know that that's where I am heading. Because you need like 10 years. I feel like you need 10 years. For most people, you just need 10 years. I'm known in the space, but I'm trying to go higher, much higher with this, so I can help a lot of people. That's ultimately the goal. And then run for the president of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Tuning in to the Breakdown, episode 669. Some people would say that I look like a douchebag wearing glasses. I would say I look so goddamn good. I look like a goddamn model. Okay? Look at me. Look at me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't got to tell you that I look the part. I am the part. I am. There ain't no fake shit about this. Right now, I love to watch people in these chats. This guy over here, Karma Waits. This dude, I've enjoyed him suffering for days now and weeks in my chat as I smile, unaffected by all the shit that he's saying. He just wants to be me. He wants to dress like me. He wants to have the same hair color and hairline and thick hair and beard and white teeth and suits like me. But he can't. Every single day, think about the mental illness. Every single day, this man wakes up. This man wakes up to come onto my show for 2 to 3 hours to watch me. And while he's doing that, guess who's getting paid? I'm getting paid while he watches me, who adds into the fact that I get impressions from him. Why would I hate such a man? Why would I hate you? You could say whatever you want. I've had people say that my entire life. But you get to watch me. Just know that tonight, when you go to sleep, you stood here for 2 hours watching me. I wasn't watching you. You were watching me. Ladies and gentlemen, we go ahead and pray for people like that. We pray that they get therapy. Shout out to the real ones that tune in consistently. Shout out to, I love TikTok. I got to tell you, I love TikTok. I love the people on TikTok. I love my moderating team on TikTok. Shout out to Fran. Shout out to Tech. Big up to them. If it wasn't for them, I'd probably have hell going on in that comment section or in that live stream. I'll be back next week. That's right. I'll be back. We'll enjoy the weekend. I'm probably going to be working, but I'm going to try to enjoy myself. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I hope you front run the markets. I hope the markets finally go parabolic. Probably won't happen. I'll probably stay sideways, and that is fine. But take your chance, take your opportunities to get in, okay? And sit back and watch the markets fly. Okay? And some of you guys need to work out, okay? I've seen your pictures. Don't post them, okay? Some of you guys really need to work out. Don't post them. That goes for both sides. You need to go work out, do something. Okay? Get on the treadmill, do something. I'm not shaming. I'm just saying I want to see people healthy. I want to see people get healthy. Anyway, on that note, I'm out.